Hey, I hope everyone had a great trading week. I just wanted to hop on here and do a quick recap of the trades that I took this week. Price action this week was a little iffy with NFP on Friday, but then the government shut down, so there was no NFP. So I thought price was going to kind of consolidate going into NFP, but then there wasn't an NFP, so it was a little bit of interesting price action, and I ended up 2 trades, one on Wednesday on NQ and one on YM Thursday. So I ended up with one winner and one loser. So I'm going to show you both of these trades. So thanks for watching, and let's get into it. Here I am on NQ. I'm on the 3-minute, which is where I entered. I usually try to enter around the 5-minute or the 15. Sometimes I will use the 3-minute if it aligns pretty well with 30-minute, as that is a pairing in the fractal model. So anyways, right here you can look, I do have from my top-down analysis on the daily chart, I do have this previous day high, and this is where my bias was. We rushed into this previous day high or all-time highs. We went bearish, came back down here, and then we were just kind of consolidating going into this session. So I kind of wanted to see some consolidation, then a manipulation to go higher with the expansion. So that's what I was looking for. So I'm going to zoom in on the chart now and show you kind of what I saw, where I took my entry. So zoomed in here on the 3-minute now, after I showed you that I'm going to be targeting that previous day high. This is the 930 candle. As you can see, we are bearish. So we had all this consolidation. I want to see a little bit of manipulation at 930 and then expansion. With this 933 candle and this 936 candle, what does it create? It creates right here, you can kind of see, I had it marked out. We have this 3-minute fair value gap. So after we establish this fair value gap, my thinking was we're going to come back into it, bounce off the fair value gap, and then expand higher. That's going to be our key level to then reach up into this previous day high. So ideally here, we're going to use this 933 candle, come back into this fair value gap. I can get an entry, and then we can go higher. So like I was saying, I wanted to see price consolidate, then manipulate into a key level, and then expand higher. I had this manipulation right here at 942, went down, tagged this 3-minute fair value gap. I was keying expansion. I entered right there, 943, right when it came back up from the wick. Probably wasn't the cleanest entry, but I like the idea of expanding away from that fair value gap. I put the stop on this body of this C2 candle, which also had a SMT with YM and ES. I was targeting 2R to that previous day level. As you can see, pretty quickly, it ripped me out. So I took that loss, -1R. As you see, price did end up taking that previous day high, like my bias and narrative was. I just got a bad entry and ended up getting taken out. If I look back on this in hindsight, what I should have done initially is I should have waited for the manipulation of this level. I should have let this 815 low be taken out and then established that C2 in that protected swing. I got in a little early. There was no protected swing really. This wasn't protected. It got taken out and then it went higher. So that was a loss. Honestly, not a terrible loss. Looking back on it, I definitely could have had a better entry, but at the time, I did like how it bounced off this 3-minute fair value gap. I initially did think it was going to expand, but it was a loss. I journaled why I took the loss and my feelings from it. Honestly, I know it's part of the process. I'm going to lose some, so I'm not too upset about it. Obviously, it kind of sucks to take an L on a trade when you have the right bias and narrative, just a bad entry, but that's something to practice and get up better on for next time. All right, now I'm going to go into my second trade of the week. This was Thursday. It was a YM short. Now on the 15-minute chart, you can see we were consolidating like crazy into the open, but what did I want to see here? Following some days of expansion, going to consolidation, I did not think we were going to go much higher than price was already, and we had a lot of these highs that needed to be taken out. So going into today, I really thought that YM was going to maybe take out these manipulation and then go lower, and so I used the 15-minute chart to kind of just use that bias, and then I actually entered on the 1-minute. I usually don't go down to the 1-minute, but I'll show you pretty quickly. The setup was pretty clean. Here I am on the 1-minute chart. This was after establishing my bias on the higher time frames. I marked out this key level from the 15-minute. I want to see this get manipulated if I'm going to see price go lower. So as you can see, 9 o'clock, 9:15, and 9:30, that's 3 straight candles of expansion. So I'm not going to try to trade this expansion. I'm going to just wait for it to get manipulated and then try to get a move lower. So right here, we got the high taken out. And ideally, now that we got taken out, we are looking for a C2 candle to form that reversal to go lower. And I'll try to trade the C3 expansion candle lower. I let price from the open expand higher. It took out the high, made a little false move lower, and took out the high again, and it created an SMT. This SMT really interests me because I'm trying to go lower as I was bearish with YM, so I wanted an SMT to form as a confluence with a C2 reversal to be able to trade the C3 candle lower. On the chart here, this is the 10 o'clock open, and as my T-Trades fractal model indicator shows, we get these 3 expansion candles into a high is taken out, but then it closes back into the range, which is ideal formation for a C2 candle reversal. And then we get this move lower at 10 o'clock. So I let it get into C3 here. We got a few more bearish candles that kind of gave me my full confirmation as we expanded away from this change of state of delivery. Honestly, was a few minutes late, but I did get this entry right here at 10:06. All right, like I said, I was a few minutes late to entering this candle. I probably could have entered right after this goes through, but I wanted to just see a little bit of extra confirmation. So I let it go a few candles, and then I was able to enter here on the 10:06 candle. I put my stop loss just above the body of this 10:02 candle because I just knew price was to go lower. It was not going to disrespect and go this higher. And then I put my take profit or TP just at the bottom of this C2 candle. It was a pretty quick and fast TP hit as the price just went down. I actually did end up holding one runner, but price kind of just consolidated here, so I ended up closing out here. In total, I made about 2.4 R. So with my 1 R loss yesterday and my 2.4 win on Thursday, I ended up this week about 1.4 R up. But yeah, that's it. That's my recap of my 2 trades this week. Price action was decent this week, but I hope you guys had a good trading week, and I hope you guys enjoy this content.